Hello, welcome back to our video series. My name is Marie.
And I'm Jim, and we're back here in the back of our house after a big snowstorm.
And so we wanted to talk with you about the show we were on last week, the Dr. Oz show, and we started posting some video in preparation for the show and on the way to the studio, and it was really fun and exciting. But then we got into the green room and we had to sign a non-disclosure agreement, so I couldn't keep kind of posting the videos that we were doing, but we'll definitely share those with you when we are able to share them. The show is going to air, they said, in a couple of weeks, but in the meantime we do have an air date for another show, and that is with the Harry Connick Jr. show. Jim and I was on that show back in the fall last year.
August, I think.
Yeah, and so they're going to air that April the 2nd.
Yeah.
So we'll have to get the actual times for the show, so you can tune in.
Whatever part of the country you're in, though, it'd be different. So.
Right.
Yeah, but I'm sure if you check, you know, must be a way of checking on that show. Right,
and we'll definitely keep you posted for any updates on that. And but we also wanted to address some of the comments and questions that we had from our last video, which was the Milton Hershey chocolate time-lapse video of us creating the chocolate part of the large sculpture. And so thank you so much for sharing the videos and all of your questions and comments. And there was one in particular from Ron and Pam who had asked how thick the actual chocolate was when we were finished.
Yeah, and the chocolate varies in thickness because, you know, some places it can be quite thin, maybe just a 1/4 inch or something. Other areas the chocolate could be several inches thick. It just depends. There's no absolute rule on the whole thing. The main rule is you want to have your armature not show. The armature is the support that's inside of the thing. So everything has to be covered with chocolate. But some places you have to build up a form, so you might add several inches of chocolate.
Sure, like on the nose and also in the ears. You know, we're not going to have too much structure underneath that.
Right, and I think the hat, there was a lot of chocolate on the hat.
Right, building that.
Yeah, so it just varies on that.
Yeah,
so,
great.
Yeah.
We had another comment also from Rod and Sally, who commented that we were making them hungry when they were watching the video. And believe me, you know, we definitely get hungry too sometimes when we are working with the material. Although we've learned how to separate, you know, the task at hand and you know, treating ourselves with a little bite of cheese or chocolate afterwards. So we don't mix the two. We don't eat kind of while we're sculpting. We don't eat the material while we're sculpting.
Yeah, unless we just didn't have lunch or something.
And the reason we're out here shooting on a day like today with all the snow in the background is I thought this would be a perfect opportunity to kind of turn the tables around and ask you a question so that you can start to think like a food artist. And the question is, if you were actually going to be sculpting a snowy landscape, what kind of food material would you use to depict the snow? So that's actually my question to you, and then you can leave some of your comments, your answers in the space below. So thanks again for joining us, and we will talk with you soon.
Bye.